everybody, welcome back to another unboxing video brought to you by Kaiju's Unboxing Reviews. If you guys like the channel, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share with anybody who think they like the content of this channel. Also hit the bell notifications so you're notified when videos drop like this one. Yeah, we are back for another unboxing and review, and this is a doozy. This is a long time coming, and when I say long time, I'm not just using that loosely. It has been a long time, but regardless, it is here. So thankful it's here, and nothing but praise for the company and the people with Titanic Creations. Just a bunch of great guys, talk with them, have had interviews with them, actually spoke with them at G-Fest here this last couple weeks, just kind of asking an update on this particular project. And honestly, and coincidentally, it happened to arrive like a couple days after the fest. So really great. Really excited to finally have this, and excited to show it off. So without that, let's get in today's unboxing and see what I got. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, Titanic Creation and their creation with the Gorgo series and Gorgo figures and the IP itself. Been doing a lot of great stuff with the Gorgo IP, honestly. Stuff that no one's touched for years and years and years and years. And it's nice to get these obscure monsters some spotlight, some love. Maybe they'll gain new followers, new fans, and just get a new light shined upon it so it's relevant again. And I love that. So, but yeah, they announced that they were going to do a Gorgo comic book. They did a Kickstarter on it in 2023, I think. And everything was supposed to release and get done in 2024, but that didn't happen. And unfortunately, it was pushed back, delayed, and now I finally got it in 2025. Now, again, I say that has nothing to do with Titanic Creations themselves. They have been great with contacting and talking and letting us know what's been going on. Like I said, I even talked to them personally, and they were really upset with what was going on and everything, and had to do with the printing company and all that kind of shenanigans. So unfortunately, just they weren't playing ball, and Titanic wanted to get this stuff out to people and everything. They felt bad, so they did what they could and the best could do. So kudos to them for communicating and all that stuff. But all that stuff aside, it's finally here. I'm really excited to have it in the collection. Like I said, this was a Kickstarter, so it's not like this is going to be willy-nilly released and everything like that. Us fans had to come up with the money, promote this, pile funds, anything that we could to make sure this was made, and we came through with flying colors and got this made. So really excited to do this. Like I said, this was a Kickstarter, so there was different tiers to this, and I'll show you exactly what my tier was, everything that came into it, because I didn't want just a bare minimum. I didn't want that. I wanted to really support these guys and really kind of get behind them, because they've done such a tremendous job with all their other stuff that they've done, and just me believing in them, I really wanted to help out in any way that I could, even if that meant putting more money towards the Kickstarter and everything to get it going. So, but yeah, here is the comic book. It's called Gorgo Legacy. It is written by Mac McClintock and Patrick McEnvoy. Hopefully I say your name right, but really great. A little synopsis on the back of kind of what's going on here. I'll read it real quick. It just says, taking place between the events of Titanic Creations' Soul War and the legendary 1961 film Gorgo, this Cold War era story follows a secret international agency known as Serenity, which monitors and often conceals the threat of giant monsters they term mega cryptids, the Kaiju. Two agents are sent to investigate strange events on an isolated isle of the coast of Ireland. Destructive creatures have been sighted. Unidentified cargo ships roam the nearby channels, and mysteriously, the Serenity agents previously assigned there has disappeared. Now, a kaiju blood feud and a Cold War intrigue will collide in the deadly waters of the North Atlantic. So really great. So I talked to Mac about this a little bit, and I'll show you some of the insides, but a lot of this has to do and take place with actually the male Gorgo, and kind of what happened to him and kind of his story, because we never got to see the male Gorgo or know anything about it, because we just saw the female and then the baby or the infant. So it was really great that they kind of gave some more backstory to how everything happened to the male Gorgo, and really just kind of puts more backstory, more of a lore to the character, which is really great. Just absolutely love it. I love the design of the new Gorgo. Let's see if I can see a good picture of him, because they changed up the design a little bit of the male Gorgo to differentiate him compared to the female Gorgo, which is great because obviously we know that the male and female of any species is always different. Here's a look, and you can see that that Gorgo that's fighting that squid, he has kind of red fins on his head and on his arms that differentiate him from a female and everything like that. So super great. I'm super excited to read this and get the backstory of all of this and see what happens. Who knows, maybe, you know, they'll do another one, but just super grateful to be a part of this. And I love it that on the back they do a shout out, a special thanks for all the backers, and yours truly right there. That is me right there. So I am in the book. Super great, and just honored to be able to help get this together and made and everything like that. So also part of my tier, I did get a Gorgo mini poster. So that's really great. That's awesome to have that. And besides the poster and the comic book, I actually got one of the limited edition Gorgo figures that came along with this Kickstarter also, which is really, really great. So really excited for that. And here is the box. As you can see, it's, you know, what everything is kind of based about, the Gorgo legacy, and great artwork on there. Has a little synopsis of the actual story and the picture going on the back and everything like that. So really, really great. Really awesome. And let's get right into the figure, because that's what I'm kind of really here for, honestly, is to really see this figure, because unfortunately I missed out on the initial Gorgo release, which I know it kills me that I missed it, and I really hope to rectify that one day, because I do want that. I want all the accessories, because I really got on board with Titanic and all their stuff, with the Pulgasari, with the Yongari. All that stuff is just super great. So I'm glad I got this in the collection. I really am, but I'm really looking for that initial release and see if I can get a hold of that first release Gorgo with the paint scheme and all the buildings, all the accessories. So, but with that, here you go. Here is the Gorgo herself and all of her menacing glory. As this is a articulated figure, she's about 5 inches tall or so. Not the biggest articulated figure that we had, but super, super great. I think this is kind of what they based everything and how they started, because this was their first articulated figure for Titanic Creation. So they went with that size, and I think later on they realized that they wanted to go a little bit bigger. So then the next releases within Pulgasari and Hungary and everything, they actually increased it to like 7 inches, even maybe 8 inches. So Gorgo is the smallest out of the bunch, but not lacking any personality, honestly, because this thing just looks super, super great, super detailed. Love it. A lot of articulation going on here. You have it in her mouth is moving, her head is moving, her neck is moving, torso moves. I mean, arms are oh, maybe I gotta loosen up some of these Whoops. So yeah, don't think of that. Arms are twisting, elbows are moving, both sides, legs are moving, feet are moving, even the claws open and shut, which is super great on both sides. Then you have the back, the tail is moving. So a lot of articulation here. I could see a lot of great pictures and photographers getting a lot of great stuff with these figures. Just super great. And she doesn't feel cheap. She doesn't feel like she's gonna fall apart. She is sturdy. She is, solid. Like I like that. I like that. She's not going to fall apart when I look at her. From say other companies that we get this kind of stuff from. So that's super great. And then also they do get a little extra, and you do get the little Olga or Orga, however you want to say it, which is the infant or baby Gorgo, honestly, which is super great. So that's really awesome. So here's a little comparison of the two and how big and how small they are. So that's really awesome. I love that little extra that goes along with it. But I do want to do a quick size comparison just to kind of compare her to and show you guys exactly how tall she is, if you don't believe me about what I said, how tall she is. Here you go. Here is a size comparison with Gorgo and a standard Bandai 6-inch movie monster series. Like I said, she is a bit smaller than your typical Bandai. So like I said, that's about the 5-inch scale. But like I said, they changed that up with their following releases with Pogasari and Yongari, and even the new Titanicus articulated figures. So I think they went a little bit bigger with them. I think they felt like 5-inch was just a tad too small, so they wanted to go with the standard 6-inch, like other articulated figure companies do and everything. So, but this is great. This still works. This is still amazing. Gorgo's not the biggest creature, the biggest kaiju out there. So it also makes sense that she's also a little bit smaller too, which I'm fine with, which is super great. The quality came out just amazing and everything, and I really do dig it, and I'm glad that I got this tier in the Kickstarter. So yeah, that's it for me. Thanks guys for watching, but of course before we get out of here we have to do the Bearded Kaiju score, and I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10. Really solid figure, great sculpt, articulation is great. Everything moves, everything feels nice and tight. It's not going to come apart. It doesn't feel fragile. The color scheme is great, and the color scheme is actually based off of the comic book. Not just the comic book what we just saw, but actually the original comic book color that we saw back in the 60s, which was just super amazing that I didn't even know there was a Gorgo comic book back in the day, which thanks to Mac, he told me about it, and I did some research, and I actually found like compendiums of the run and everything like that, and I'm currently in the hunt and able to acquire those, honestly. So really great. We're going to be really fun to read those and have those in the collection. So because I didn't even know about them, so I'm glad that they reissued them into compendiums, and you can get them all in a collection and stuff like that, so you don't have to hunt down the single issues. So but yeah, super great, super awesome. Love everything about her. Everything just came out just spectacular. So really great, and I commend Titanic Creations for everything that they've done, everything that they were able to do, and keep everybody in the loop, able to talk to them, they're being transparent with everybody, and just amazing group of guys and company over there. So I fully support them in every way, and I think everybody should do the same, and just have faith in them. Have faith in them. It's not always their fault for having setbacks or delays, because there's always something else going on that just kind of really sucks. So, but yeah, just kind of be patient. You are going to get your stuff. I got my stuff. You will get your stuff. So, good luck to them in the future, and I will definitely be supporting them in the future for whatever endeavors that they choose, and honestly for whatever kaiju that they pick next. Honestly, I would love for a next creature, since they are doing all these obscure creatures and kaiju and bringing out toys for them. I would love a articulated Gappa set. That would be my all-time favorite. I love Gappa for some reason. It's just a weird kaiju, but it's just a great stuff. I just love it. It's so wholesome and yet such a great kaiju movie, and the designs are cool too, you know, and I just absolutely love it. So I really hope they do something like that, or even a Reptilicus would be a lot of fun, because you don't really see much of that either. So those two I would really love, and then obviously besides anything else, I'm down for. So, but yeah, with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you all for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. A giveaway is coming, so be on the lookout for that. Keep sharing, keep supporting, and thanks everybody. So until next time, later.